The stranger at my anniversary party accused me of carrying his baby, but I turned his lies into my ultimate revenge. Had spent weeks preparing for what I thought would be the happiest night of my life, my first wedding anniversary. Every detail had been planned meticulously: the decorations, the music, the menu, even the seating arrangement for our guests. I kept telling myself, tonight is special. Nothing will ruin it. My husband stood up to raise a glass, smiling warmly at everyone as the room gradually fell silent. He thanked everyone for coming and spoke from the heart about our first year together, about the life we were building, and the dreams we shared. Tears welled in my eyes as I listened, feeling the warmth of love and connection envelop me. For a moment, everything felt perfect, calm, and safe. But just as the guests began clapping, I noticed him, a man I had never seen before, entering the room. At first, I assumed he was a late arrival, an unplanned guest perhaps. But he didn't greet anyone. Instead, he walked straight toward the center of the room, his gaze locking onto mine with a piercing intensity that sent shivers down my spine. The room grew uneasy, murmurs spreading quietly among the guests. "I'm sorry to interrupt this celebration, but everyone here deserves to know the truth," he declared loudly, and my heartbeat jumped into my throat. My mind went blank. Who was he? Why was he looking at me like this? Before I could even take a breath, he pointed directly at me, his voice echoing, "The baby she's carrying is mine." A stunned silence fell over the room, followed by whispers, gasps, and shocked expressions. Some guests exchanged confused glances, thinking perhaps it was a cruel joke, but the man's face left no doubt. I felt my stomach twist as panic surged through me. I don't even know you," I managed to stammer, my voice trembling, but he ignored me entirely. "I had an affair with her," he continued confidently, "and that child is mine." The sound of his words echoed like a hammer against my chest. My husband froze, his expression unreadable, while the guests seemed paralyzed by shock. Whispers turned into chatter, people pointing fingers, questioning, judging. My husband's mother stepped forward and slapped me sharply across the face. "This is disgusting," she said coldly. "You brought shame to our family." "No, I didn't do anything," I cried, my tears streaming freely. "Divorce her immediately," she shouted, and other relatives joined in, their voices full of contempt, echoing accusations I had never imagined facing. "We always knew she wasn't right for him. Look where she comes from. This is exactly why we were against this marriage." Each word felt like a blade slicing through my heart. My husband opened his mouth, but the stranger smirked arrogantly, certain of his plan, as though he had orchestrated the perfect attack. Something inside me snapped. I couldn't let this lie go unchallenged. I wasn't going to let anyone, stranger or family, destroy me or my life. I shouted, "Stop lying." The room froze. All eyes were on me. My husband's gaze met mine, steady, protective, and unwavering. "I know you," he whispered quietly. "I trust you." Those words, so simple yet so powerful, ignited a fire inside me. For the first time, I knew I had the strength not just to survive, but to fight back. Over the next few days, I meticulously pieced together the truth. I collected every shred of evidence I could find: forged documents, manipulated photos, medical records, and inconsistencies in the stranger's story. I reached out to professionals, lawyers, journalists, private investigators, to ensure that every lie could be exposed and documented. My husband worked alongside me, using his contacts and influence to uncover the depth of the conspiracy. Slowly, the horrifying reality came to light. The man had been hired, paid by my husband's family to stage the accusation, to humiliate me, and to force my husband to doubt me and consider leaving me. Every proof he had presented was fabricated. Every photo had been manipulated. Every medical report forged. My husband's family had meticulously planned this attack, believing that by destroying my credibility, they could control his life and force him to make a choice in their favor. When we confronted the man under legal pressure, he eventually broke. He confessed everything: the instructions he had been given, the scripts he had memorized, the lies he had been paid to tell. Every single detail aligned with our investigation. Court records, affidavits, and corroborating evidence left no room for doubt. The people who had tried to ruin my life, the very ones who had humiliated me publicly, were now facing the consequences of their actions. Legal proceedings were initiated, fraud, defamation, conspiracy, and criminal charges were filed against the family members who orchestrated this plot. Media outlets picked up the story, and within days, the scandal spread across social platforms. Headlines screamed, "Wealthy family exposed in false accusation scandal, anniversary party accusation revealed as paid conspiracy, bride vindicated after attempted humiliation." My husband and I didn't stop there. The legal battles were only the beginning. We systematically reclaimed what they had tried to steal from me: my dignity, my honor, and my life. The family who had attempted to control and destroy us faced both social and legal retribution. My husband stood by me every step of the way, unwavering, ensuring that justice was served. My in-laws, who had publicly shamed me, now faced public humiliation themselves. The mother who had slapped me, the father who had threatened me, and the relatives who had condemned me were powerless against the truth. Media coverage exposed their deceit, and public opinion sided with us, reinforcing the victory of truth over lies. I felt a satisfaction unlike anything before, a sense of power, justice, and vindication. I didn't just survive, I had turned their own malicious plan against them. The people who had tried to break me were now facing the consequences of their choices. My husband held my hand and looked into my eyes. "No matter what anyone says or shows, I know the truth," he said quietly. "I will never believe a stranger over my wife." That assurance, that unwavering trust, gave me peace. But the story didn't end with personal vindication. Legal settlements and penalties ensured that my husband's family could no longer interfere in our lives. Property and inheritance claims they had tried to manipulate were now corrected in our favor. Every attempt they had made to humiliate and control us backfired. Their reputation was ruined. Socially, financially, legally, they had lost. And the man they had hired to accuse me, he faced legal consequences as well, forced to publicly admit his role in the conspiracy. Over time, justice was fully served. The family who had tried to destroy my life begged for reconciliation, but I had learned my lesson: some bridges cannot and should not be crossed again. I had taken control. I had reclaimed my life. And the sense of empowerment, justice, and revenge that I experienced could never be taken away. That night, after all the chaos, my husband and I sat together in silence, holding hands, feeling a victory that was both sweet and deeply personal. I realized then that revenge doesn't have to be violent, it doesn't have to be physical. Revenge can be intelligence, strategy, patience, and truth. And when executed with precision, it can be far more satisfying than any slap, punch, or yell. The people who sought to ruin me were now exposed, shamed, and powerless. And I was stronger, braver, and unshakable. From that day forward, I carried with me a lesson I would never forget. When someone tries to destroy you, your ultimate weapon is the truth, your courage, and your refusal to back down. Fight smart, act with precision, and watch as their lies crumble. Justice, and true revenge, always prevails.